so it might take him a moment to get up. But Andrea Cross, everybody.
So I was asked to do a storytelling show in December, and I was very excited about it because it was a storytelling show that was like a storytelling group that I had been wanting to do their show for a while, and it was at a place called Caveat, which is a really nice, light place. It was December 2nd, so I was really excited, and it was going to be all women who were doing the show, and the theme was hysteria, and so I asked the producer. There were two producers. They were both going to host, and so my story was going to be about my endometriosis and how I'd had it for a long time and how it had affected, my health, and then blah, 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 blah. And so then one of the producers said, well, you know what? A lot of the women are talking about their vaginas. So maybe you could not talk about, necessarily your vagina. And I said, okay, well, that kind of knocks out endometriosis. It's vaginal based. How about, maybe if I talk about, we could talk about the endometriosis, but maybe about how, I don't know, I had written a whole thing about it. She said, well, how about how you couldn't have children, how that affected you? And I said, well, I could give two shits because I never wanted them. I didn't care. I have dogs. I don't like them. I don't like them. I like dogs. Cats are great. Petting goats. I'm fine. I never wanted them. So I said, but wait, I have an idea. I can talk about how I was taught at a very young age to use my sexuality to be important, and how even though I was intelligent, because of trauma and because I was very pretty and because I was thin, I was taught to use my sexuality, and how as I got sicker with my endometriosis when I was in high school and college, I ended up gaining weight, had a hysterectomy, and so as I gained weight, I started to think, oh, I'm not as important and men don't like me, and oh fuck, what am I going to do? I have to use my personality now. Oh, it's up to me now. Oh fuck, what am I going to do? And so she's like, that's good, I like it. So I was writing this story, and one of the parts of the stories involved when I came to New York and I did a workshop, and then I met this gentleman, and I call him Watercolor Man because we wrote to each other for the next year, and he would draw me watercolors of Calvin and Hobbes, and I would write him. I know, right? Well, that's back in the day, right? This was 30-something years ago, right? And I would write him poetry. And the next year, when I actually moved to New York, the first night I was here, I was going to be staying at his apartment. He was meeting me at the airport. We were going to his apartment. The next night, I was going to stay with friends until I found a real apartment. But that one night, I was staying at his place. But I had gained a lot of weight in that 1 year because I had like a partial hysterectomy because of the endometriosis, but we weren't talking about vaginas, we were talking about weight gain. So, to focus on that. And anyway, so this is like long story short what I was talking about in this story. And this was just a small part of the story, right? And so what happened was I expected maybe there was going to be some romance that happened. And also I was kind of counting on it because I wasn't focusing on my personality, but I had to focus on my personality. Things were fucked up in this place. So I was like, hey, let's mess around. And he was like, no. And I was like, oh no, what's wrong with me up here? And so I was very aggressive about it. I tried to kiss him and I grabbed his dick. And I'm serious. Not woo, because he was like, no. And I was like, well, how about you fuck my tits? And he was like, fine. And he did. Right? He made sweet love to my breast. And I was like, score! And it was like, no. And it happened anyway. And so then I wiped off, and then I went and slept on the couch. And then, no, seriously. And then, I'm serious. It's bad. And then I got up and went in the bathroom and found a razor and cut my arms because I was in so much emotional pain that was the only way to express myself because I was hurting so much, right? And then I went and showed him, like, hey, I'm in so much pain because I couldn't express it, right? And never heard from him again. What? Never heard from him again, right? Shocking. And that was 32 years ago, right? So I put this in the story. Now, that was just a small part of it. And then the rest of the story was how I went on and healed, found my husband now, and I am I'm okay now. This is where I am now, right? But I'm not gonna say like, and I'm not fucking Oprah. Everybody gets a car. Fuck you. So anyway, I'm trying to get this in 10 minutes. So I had my story and everything, and so let's say about 5 years ago, I'm going through some photos, and I found a photo of him, and I say I'm gonna scan it in, I'm gonna send it to him on Facebook. Didn't expect a response. I just said, here, scan this in, throwing it away. Hope you're doing well. Sorry for what happened 27 years ago. Don't expect to hear from you. Don't want to be friends. Just wanted to let you know I'm sorry. Which I've apologized to a shit ton of people. I'm 57 now, so trust me. I've apologized to a lot of people. Some people I've heard back. It's okay, we were kids. Well, thank you. Some people never heard back from. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's life, right? So, never heard from him. So, I'm doing this show on December 2nd. I have my story ready. I'm good to go, blah, 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 blah. And I get a note from Facebook that says, Watercolor Man read your message. And I go, what? Okay. Why is that? Why did Watercolor Man read my message? And I look at it and I go, what is Watercolor Man up to? Now, on occasion I've looked up Watercolor Man and seen what he's doing. I know he's an actor. I know he's a comedian. I know he does stuff. And I go, is he involved at Caveat? The space in which I'm telling my story? Wait! Oh. That's not a possibility, though, is it? That wouldn't fucking be a possibility. And I go to Caveat's website, and yeah, he's part of the group of fucking happy campers that works and does shows at Caveat. And I go, okay, well, that's fine. Oh, good. Okay, that's yay. I'm so fucking happy that he's happy and hanging out at Caveat. So I get to Caveat that night, and there's a burlesque show going on, and I'm like, well, I don't see him. We're fine. And I say to the producers, hey, you know what? He, Watercolor Man, he does stuff here. And they're like, oh, okay. And everybody clears out, and I look across the room, and he's the house manager that night. Jesus Christ. And I go, fuck. And I look at the producers and I go, you know Watercolor Man from the story? Yeah, he's here tonight. Watercolor Man is here tonight? Yeah, he's here tonight. Oh my God. What do you want to do? I don't know. Well, it's your story. Yes, it's my story. It's your story, and he doesn't do anything wrong in the story. I mean, technically you fucked up. Yes, I did. Thank you for reminding me of that. I don't know what I want to do. Well, do you want to take it out? I'm like, I don't know if I want to take it out. So I'm talking to everyone that night, the women who were in the story. One of them says, yeah, he told me that he knows somebody else in the show. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking great. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep it in. I don't care if he's there or not. And he was there. He was there watching the show. So I did it. I did my story, and I ended it on a note, which was, I'm doing pretty good. Not everybody gets a card. I said, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing better. This is what I went through, and this is why all this shit happened. And this is how I got better, and I'm better. And after the show, I had beat myself up, after what happened. I had beat myself up my whole life. And now I don't beat myself up anymore. And now I'm doing pretty well. And so after the show, I waited a couple minutes, and people came up to me and said, thank you for your story. Thank you. I'm so glad you're doing great. Blah, 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 blah. And I stood there with my husband for a minute, and I kind of stood there, and I said, okay, well, let's go. And we left. And as we left, I said to myself, you're a piece of shit, aren't you? You're a fucking piece of shit, aren't you? You suck. God, you fucking suck for what you did. He didn't come over you. He didn't come over, and he didn't say anything to you. He didn't say, you know what, I'm glad you're doing better. He didn't say, oh, it's okay what happened. He didn't say, I'm glad you're sorry. He didn't fucking say anything to you. You're a piece of shit for what happened. You haven't gotten better. There's nothing's going on. You're a fucking piece of shit. And I said to Kai, you know what, I suck. I'm a piece of shit. And nothing's changed, and nothing's gotten better, and what I did was horrible and everything. And he said, you know what, have you ever thought that maybe it's him who has the fucking problem? And I said, yeah, I never thought of that. And so for about a week, I beat myself up a lot. I go to therapy twice a week. I beat myself up in therapy twice. And I just kept talking about it and thinking about it. And I was sick about it. And then it really, really, really hit me that maybe it was his fucking problem. That maybe he was the one who had the problem. And then all of a sudden I thought, you know, fuck it. This isn't my fight anymore. Thank you. Oh my goodness, I got hugs. Oh, I got hugs. I got hugs.
We'll talk everybody. Come on.
We don't have the liability insurance for a whole group hug. But if you want to do individual hugs or two-person hugs throughout the day, it's totally fine. Just, you know, there's